Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. As you can see, we have another table set up. It's, as usual, we've got a couple of woods, a bit of foresty terrain, some ruins, a large building in the centre of the board. We're playing a homemade mission today called Clash of Generals, and we're playing a Tau and Space Marine force, vanilla Space Marines, versus the evil Space Wolves and their foul Necron allies. Yay. It's 1,000 points each player, so 2,000 points aside. The mission we're using, the Clash of Generals, involves having two standard objectives. One is down here, hidden at the edge of the woods, and the other is hidden, you probably can't see it, it's a bit dark up here, at the bottom of this building there, following Mark's pointy finger. So there are two objectives, they're scored at the end of the game as usual. It's Dawn of War deployment, we roll randomly and that's what we got. And the Space Wolves and Necrons are setting up along that table edge. And the Space Marines and their Tau allies are down here. The special rules, we have to choose a general of our army. So the Space Wolves and Necrons have chosen their Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf mount. And myself and my Space Marine ally have chosen our Librarian in Terminator armour. If you manage to kill the leader of your opponent's force, sorry that was Mark coughing, he's a bit ill as usual. If you manage to kill the leader of the opposing force, that counts as you scoring an additional objective at the end of the game. But to counteract that, if your leader goes down, you place the model on the floor, and he now becomes an objective that only you can score. So your side can score that objective, but the enemies can still contest it, but they can't score it. So if both leaders die, it will be a 4 objective game. Hope that's all clear? Probably isn't. Okay, so this is my 1,000 point Tau army I'm using today. I'm borrowing Nick's models, so you'll have to bear with me on their names. I'm taking the basic commander, the dude that costs 50 points. He's got a couple of gun drones, he's got a twin-linked melter gun, or whatever those Tau people call it. He's got a missile pod, he's got the thing that lets him shoot at a different target to the rest of his unit, and he can fire both his weapons. There is an elite crisis suit team. They're all armed with twin-linked missile pods and flamers. They have gun drones in there. They have a unit leader who has a fail-safe detonator, bit of a left-field choice, and he can also fire at a different target to the rest of the unit. We have the obligatory fire warriors. Instead of taking a minimum size squad, I've taken a maximum size squad of 12 with a leader with a bonding knife, trying to give them a bit more survivability, who knows. They're embarked on a devilfish, and it has the, what's it called, Mark? That thing that means I get a cover save all the time. Disruption pod, always good. Here's the meat of the list, the 3 broadsides. They've got 2 shield drones, they've all got ASS. The leader of the unit, the guy with a purple head, has black sun filters, pretty useful against those evil Necrons. We also have some Kroot. We have 10 normal Kroot warriors and 7 Kroot hounds. We're using some Dark Eldar Cold One models today to use as those.
The Lizard Men Cold Ones.
Oh, Lizard Men Cold Ones. Pretty similar models though, and they look much better than the standard Kroot hounds that are out there. And lastly we have a Piranha. It's got a fusion gun, a disruption pod, and it's also got flechette dischargers in case anyone tries to close combat it.
It's a +1 BS.
It also has the +1 BS. Good skills, Mark.
Hello there, today I'm using Space Marines. It's the first time I'm using them. I normally play some Orky boys. Right.
My voice, you know the rules, Nick.
Right, we've got a Razorback with twin-link las cannon, and they've got a squad of 10 tactical Marines. In that squad, we have got a sergeant with a power weapon and a melter gun. We have a missile launcher. And we have a other dude with a melter gun as well, to help him to hopefully pop some vehicles. We have a Rhino, and they've got 10 tactical Marines as well. This one's got a melter gun, it's got a flamer, and it's got a sergeant with a flamer and a power fist as well.
Multi-melter, isn't it?
Yes, it's multi-melter, sorry, yes. We have the obligatory drop pod with Dreadnought inside. He has a heavy flamer and multi-melter as well. And for the meat of our army, we have a tactical squad, all equipped with Thunderhammer storm shields.
Terminator squad, boss.
Terminator squad, sorry! And they've got a Librarian. He's got in Terminator armour and got a storm shield as well. Powers. And the powers he's got the teleporting one, Gate of something or other. Infinity. And he has got Null Field. Zone, that's it. I was thinking Null Field. There we go.
Hey guys, this is my Space Wolf 4 today. I'll start with my HQ. It's a Wolf Lord mounted on Thunderwolf mount. Not too many upgrades, just a Storm Shield, Frostbraid, Runic Armour and Melter Bombs. He's going to be running with 7 from Region Walls, aka Broadside Catchers. I have 2 squads of 4 Long Fangs with 3 missile launchers. I have 2 squads of 5 Great Hunters with a melter gun. They're going to have a Wolf Guard with a combi melter. I have a slightly larger squad of 6. They have a Wolf Banner and they're going around with a Power Fist combi melter Wolf Guard. The larger squad has a Rhino. The 2 smaller squads have Las Plaz Razorbacks, and I also have 1 cup of tea, milk, 2 sugars. Thank you very much.
Right. On the Necrons side of things, we have an Overlord armed with a War Scythe and Resurrection Orb. He's accompanied by 10 Immortals armed with Tesla Carbines. We also have a cunningly disguised Ghost Ark.
It's a good disguise, that.
Riding that is 5 Warriors and a Cryptect with the Destruction ability. There are 4 Wraiths, 2 of which are armed with the Whip Coils, and 2 First Timers are the Stalker and the Doom Scythe.
I don't like it.
Start of Space Wolf and Necrons turn 1. I'm just going to show you the enemy deployment as it's Dawn War. They just had the 1 small tactical squad of missile launcher up there. Everything else is coming on. You have the Kroot outflanking. We've moved on from here. I've got my 2 squads of Long Fangs, just doing a bit of air terrain here. We have a Doom Scythe as turbo boosted up to here. The Necrons deployed their large block of Immortals with their Overlord here. I started off with just a Rhino dedicated transport. My larger squad has got in it, and it's now moved forward and popped smoke. We have the Bulker armies kind of here. You have the Necron race, you have my 2 Razorbacks, you have my Wolf Lord. We have the Ghost Ark kind of trying to protect it a little bit from getting melted, because that's the only thing that could probably hurt it reliably. We have the Triarch Stalker over here, and nothing is in reserve for our team.
Okay, it is Tau and Space Marines turn 1. Obviously night fighting is in effect due to the dawn of war, so our shooting wasn't as good as we'd hoped, but it was pretty poor. Missile launcher over here was just out of range at firing at the Necrons in this building. The broadsides here, their team leader with his special Black Sun filter took aim at the Doom Scythe floating in the middle of this building. It being a massive threat, we decided to take it out early. He managed to hit and penetrate, but unfortunately as it had moved really fast, he made his cover save. Not good. The Terminators marched on the board here in a special circle formation to help protect them from said Doom Scythe. This squad here had all shot at this Rhino over here. We managed to get a couple of penetrations. He made 1 cover save, and we rolled on the damage chart. Unfortunately, just knocked off a Stormbolter. Not the best result. The leader of this squad has Black Sun filters and the ability to fire at different target. He also shot at the Doom Scythe, but failed to penetrate. Las cannon on the back of this Razorback opened fire at this Rhino here, but was just short of inches. And then we come to the pièce de résistance. So you didn't know I could speak French. This guy dropped in over here, intending to melt a gun this thing. 7 inches away. Look what we rolled. That was not good.
Okay, following last turn's turn of fail for them, I think we managed to top that. You see, we fired.
Yours was much worse than ours.
Pretty much. This idiot fired at Dreadnought, failed. This idiot fired, failed. These guys fired, glanced it once, stunned it so it can't shoot. These guys fired, failed. These guys fired, failed. Doom Scythe, fail. These guys.
Stalker.
Oh, sorry, my apologies, missed this one. Triarch Stalker, fail. These guys kind of killed 1 Terminator, which is useful, and these guys, it's a little baby gun, managed to kill a couple of Terminators, which is the only thing that's kind of redeeming around, is there's now only a couple of Terminators in there. Other than that, I even managed to fail my run roll, so I couldn't even assault the Dreadnought. It's just been a turn of epicness.
More ones than I've seen in quite some time.
Yes, so just a quick overview, not much has shuffled.
Don't forget this thing was immobilised.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Our turn started off with 3 1s in a row, with this immobilised itself, and these shuffling a whole 1 inch, so yeah, not been the best of turns.
Right, this is end of Space Marine and Tau turn 2. Slightly better this turn. Unfortunately though, the Kroot have come onto the board, which we didn't really want to a later point. The missile launcher in there attempted to have a shot at that. It hit but failed to pen, unfortunately. The broadsides, one of them couldn't shoot this turn because it couldn't see anything. So one of them shot at the Doomside and missed and did nothing. The other one had a go at the Ghost Ark. That unfortunately didn't manage to do anything. The Devilfish here, that shot at the Wraiths that are hiding behind the Doomside, and we've been able to kill 2 of them. We've killed one with a Whipclaw, one without. The Terminators, as regards to where they've lost numbers, they tried running up here to assault the Doomside. Unfortunately, they only rolled a 3 for moving through terrain and couldn't make it. The Librarians peeled off to join this group of tacticals who come up and jumped out the Rhino. The battle suits over here, the leader had a shot at the Doomside, and that's managed to stop it from shooting and moving. It was immobilised anyway. Next turn, the other ones, they managed to wreck the Rhino which this squad was in, but they've been able to do some cheeky get out and use the Rhino as cover, which has stopped this tactical squad from flamering them and assaulting them. The las cannon on this Razorback did nothing. The Stormbolter on the drop pod did nothing. The Piranha attempted to shoot the Stalker over there and did nothing. The Dreadnought has assaulted the Wolf Lord. He has killed 2 wolves, but is now engaged in combat there. I believe that was everything for the end of this turn, but as I say, it's not looking too bad now.
End of Space Wolf and Necron turn 3. These long fangs down here fired a template, 2 templates down into there. I got 18 hits, but he made all of his saves, but 1 died. So good roll on my part, better rolling than his. I also fired 1 template down at there, managed to kill just the 1 Kroot. This squad of long fangs attempted to hurt the Devilfish, but my 1 penetration he made his save for. This obviously couldn't shoot. These guys up here fired down at the Terminator, hiding over here. Killed 1, one's still alive. This down here, my Las Plaz Razorback shot at their Razorback. I immobilised it with that shot. Obviously it's not there, you can probably guess what comes next, which is this Las Plaz Razorback then shot down there, and the plasma managed to penetrate and explode it, which is always useful, hence I like Las Plaz. Shout Kelly. The Ghost Ark attempted to shoot down there. The Cryptic, however, nicely managed to shoot down here and got a shaken result, is it? The number 2, which means it can't move or shoot. Down here, in a big epic close combat of awesomeness, what has so far happened is my squad managed to fail. The Wolf Lord didn't do anything, but the race came in, managed to bail me out and blow up the Dreadnought. However, we're going to do this live on film. I now need to make 2 3+ saves for my Wolf Lord. If not, he'll be instant death, counting as an objective for my opponents. And also in the explosion, 2 Space Wolves have died. So, live action rolling.
Man is Mark. We've already done this once.
Boom.
He survived second. That's karma for you.
And also I now need to make 1 2+ save for an explosion. And he's fine. Wolf Lord's still rocking and rolling.
Okay, you join us on Tau and Space Marine turn 3. Okay, starting off with our missile launcher over here, shot at the Necrons hiding in this tower, but didn't do any damage. The broadsides, on the other hand, were most excellent. The leader split his fire and managed to destroy the Doomside in the building, and the other 2 had managed to shuffle into a line and had a very thin sliver of shooting to fire at the Wolf Lord, who was over here. Previous to that, this squad had moved up and had flamed all the wolves from around the Wolf Lord, so he was on his own. I hit him once and he failed his save. Good old Librarian with that null zone. Makes the Storm Shield a lot worse. Continuing on the theme of null zone, you'll notice there's an extra Wraith down. We opened fire with the squad of battle suits, and with something else. What else fired at them?
Leah.
Okay, Tau Space Marines turn 3. The missile launcher over here shot at the tower of Necrons in, only caused 1 wound and he made his save. The guys down here are much better, the leader splitting his fire and killing the Doomscythe, while the other 2 managed to get a thin sliver of line of sight on the Wolf Lord, who was over here. The squad of tacticals had flamed all the wolves out from under him, so he was on his own. He had his free-up storm shield save, but luckily the librarian had got in there with his null zone, making it a lot worse, and he died. The Tau battle suits over this side opened fire on the wraiths. They managed to deal 3 wounds to the squad, again with the aid of the librarian's null zone. Other than that, it was a pretty impotent turn. The Tau fire warriors moved over here to get a bit more cover, and the Terminator had run into the building, intending to run up and kill 11 Necrons on his own. We can but hope. Oh, the Kroot came on, fired 2 shots, did nothing.
The Necron turn 4. The Longfangs down here fired 2 missiles at this rhino here, but missed both shots, and a frag down at the Kroot and killed 2 hounds. This squad of Longfangs opened up on the now deceased Terminator in here to protect their mortal brethren. Pretty much the all-star of the show today was our Necron team. They fired the Triarch Stalker into what was the Libri squads. Managed to hit me and everything else was twin-linked. Opened fire with this guy in rapid fire range. Opened fire with the Immortals, who just got a silly amount of hits. And we just put too many wounds down on them and they died relatively quickly. And then the 2 Space Wolf squads did the mopping up and killed what was left. One of the last Plasma Razorbacks down here missed. The second one managed to shake and stun this vehicle, so it can't move or shoot this turn, which is good. Other than that, not much has really happened. Just a quick overview. We have the objective down here, which you can't quite see, but no one's scoring that one yet. We have the objective here, who currently we are scoring. We have our Wolf Lords, who currently I am scoring, and you now have the Libri over here, and their scoring units are unfortunately a little bit far away.
Okay, it's Tau and Space Marine turn 4. Missile launch over here, put a bit of fire up onto those Necrons, but didn't hurt them. The broadsides had again shuffled into very narrow firing lanes. They shot at this Rhino with 2 of their number, but didn't manage to hurt it. Shot at that Razorback even, didn't manage to hurt it. And the Triarch Stalker over here failed to hurt that as well. Not the best of rolling on my behalf. This squad moved up and it was looking pretty bleak, so we split the fire on various different targets over here, hoping to cause some morale checks and get some off the board. The entire squad shot, failed to hurt a single model. Not good. Over here, the Tau jumped out of their vehicle, sprinted forward to get next to the objective that's behind this building, managed to do it. The Space Marines over here managed to move within range of this unit, but as our shooting was so terrible, we didn't manage to hurt anything. We decided to call the game at that point. The Space Wolves and Necrons really have far too much stuff clustered around these objectives over here for us to ever take them, and the Space Wolves are just better in close combat than us, so they're going to come and take off these 2 units off of their objectives without any trouble. I mean, this unit up in this tower have just been pouring fire down onto us all day. They'll wipe out units on their own. So the Necron and Space Wolves win the game. Okay, we're just going to have a little chat about how we thought the game went. From myself and Nick's point of view, a few problems. We set up over here with our broadsides, but my fault, I didn't realise that we couldn't shoot through the base of that building, which left them a large amount of cover for the opposite side of the board. I mean, they still did quite well, killing some stuff, but they weren't as good as I thought they could be. What about your units, Nick? How do you think they got on?
Well, being first time playing Space Marines, the Dreadnought did very well, considering it was indestructible in the first turn.
The Dreadnought absorbed so much fire.
That's MVP.
Yeah, really, definitely.
Obviously, he should have died first in well, turn 2 for the other guys. Terminators, yeah, they need a Land Raider.
Yeah, they just died to walking up the field with Terminators isn't a good plan.
It's just rolling. We did so awful shooting.
Yeah, we couldn't kill vehicles, could we? We managed to kill a Night Scythe and a Rhino, but with Tau and Space Marines, both reasonably shooty, that was pretty poor. I mean, the Triarch Stalker we just continually missed with melter guns and rail guns and things.
Yeah.
And whenever we shot at the Rhinos, they just made their cover saves, or we missed with our missile pods on these dudes. So overall, it was just we got a bit outshot really,
which is bad dice rolling.
Well, bad dice rolling, bad tactics in some places as well.
Yeah.
What about you two? How do you think your side went? Obviously, your first turn was dog awful for you.
The first couple of turns were completely rubbish. Just couldn't do a thing. I thought if I had to name an MVP for our team, it's definitely these guys. They torrented the Terminators down, crippled them. They killed a load of these Space Marines and the Libri down here.
Yeah, they wiped out that squad.
They just put such a ridiculous amount of firepower in. I thought really, really important was keeping the objectives clustered, and at the
Yeah,
same
you
time,
did really well on deployment at that point, and having your leader there, so when we killed him,
Yeah.
it was still clustered, was good tactics.
I kept the fight here, and also I noticed you couldn't shoot through this build here,
Yeah,
and it
big
meant,
mistake on my behalf there. It meant I couldn't fire at these rhinos with the broadsides all game.
and it just meant the Space Wolves want to play up close and personal. The game happened here, and this is exactly where we want to be. You know, we've got the Necrons with rapid fire.
The long
and
fangs
stuff.
didn't do a whole lot, but neither did the Kroot coming in on this side.
Yeah, and then,
They were pretty superfluous.
Cowboys
It
went up
was
there.
just the wrong
As
side,
was the
unfortunately.
tacticals. Yeah, with outflanking. Unfortunately, in a game like this where the objectives are clustered, the outflanking is just a bit random.
Yeah,
I mean-
I thought that was most important. Us cheating the table edge because we
Yeah.
got to choose the table edge with the objective. Which
Yeah.
means, we're one up already, and you have to push forward. And
That's it. If we'd got that table edge, it would have been much easier for us, as we're not a particularly offensive army.
Yeah.
No, we would have stood. We could stand back to shoot more,
Yeah.
as we would have
We
done.
got to dictate the shooting wall because, as I said, we were here, and you guys had to. You're in the territory you didn't want to be at, which is getting closer to us.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We had more melter. And we had more troops that wanted to get close, and it was an advantage for us.
I mean, it would have been useful. I mean, in the close combat where the Dreadnought did die, it was the last dice roll that actually
It
killed
was,
it.
yeah. If that had
Which-
survived another turn, that'd have been really
That's
useful.
Well, there's still a power fist.
There was still a power
yeah, there was
fist.
still a power fist.
Power
sorry.
fist, 3 attacks, and I rerun them on 1. So I had a.
Not bad, not brilliant, but not bad.
No, I thought I had a reasonable chance.
I mean, he had so much stuff around him there. If
Yeah.
he'd have survived a turn, even just being immobilised or something, it would have been really good for us. It would have slowed down your advance.
Yeah, I mean, he might have had he would have had another go at the Wolf Lord himself. Might have killed him.
Yeah,
But overall, I think you tactically outmanoeuvred us over on this section of the board,
Yeah.
and combined with our inability to really shoot straight, that was kind of like the story of the game.
There was just too much pressure over this side. The other side there's nothing. I mean, the tactical
Yeah.
squad, the missile launcher was more to keep cover for that objective there. Obviously, there was never going to be much for him to shoot at.
yeah. At the end of the day, it's just a missile launcher.
It was
it's
just
not real much
well,
to
yeah,
do.
but only one missile launcher in a
What
squad
do people
fight.
think of the mission overall? I think, obviously, we made our armies up before we chose any of the missions, and I think you obviously had a better commander for the mission than us, with the Wolf Lord being really hard to kill.
Yeah.
I mean, our Terminator, I didn't expect to go down quite as easily as he did. He just failed the first 2 saves he had to make and fell over, which is pretty bad.
I like the mission. It'll be interesting.
I like the
to
mission. I
see.
think it's an interesting mission.
Yeah, as I said, none of us built armies for it. So,
No, but I mean, the mission was got. If the Terminator had survived that turn, he would have used his power to just jump. And
Yeah, that
jump
was it.
completely over the opposite.
That's
side
the
of
advantage I
table.
thought we had. If we could have used our deep strike power to hide back here, that would have denied them a victory point, and we could have possibly held one objective and got a draw out of it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. That's the story of the game, though, folks. It was a good game, nevertheless. The evil Necrons and their Space Wolf slaves managed to slaughter
what
us.
it means is the Space Wolves and the uber elite.
Yeah, I know what I mean. I'll chop this bit off the video so you can't say that.